service.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. Yeah.
and and I loved the industry. I had several different brands in that industry, and um, but then there came this point where um, I didn't mean to eat a second one. There came this point where I'm coaching people. They're buying all of our content. Every time we release something, they're buying it. And then, they're coming for advice. So they're coming to my coaching. Like they're hiring me, they're paying me. Um, like my coaching program started at around $500 a month to have a couple of calls with me each month and then to be able to like email and ask me questions. Um, uh, um, I would be coaching them and they would say, I've bought all this content, I've done all this, I'm doing all this, but I'm not making any money. What am I doing wrong? And so I'm giving them advice on, well, here's what you're missing. You're not doing this, or the here's the missing piece. I recommend you do this. You know, um, I still feel good about what I'm doing. Um, I still feel like I'm providing a valuable service. I'm doing, I'm giving people, helping people speed their progress. I do have clients who are successfully making money publishing and promoting the content. But I have way more that are not. And I'm discovering through, being in relationships with clients over the course of, say, a year and a half, they're paying me $500 a month for advice. They're spending hundreds of dollars a month buying stuff, um, buying, content and stuff, but they're not really implementing my advice. They're not taking my advice. They're like nodding their head and saying, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, all right, cool, I'll go do that. But then they're not going and doing that. And
So then why are they continuing to foot a bill for advice that they're not using?
well, here's where, okay, now
That doesn't
my,
seem like a good business plan in my opinion.
oh, it sounds terrible, and it sounds so terrible in so many ways. Um, but here's the so I start to get frustrated. Um, I'm frustrated that, especially if you are coaching with me, I am paying I'm paying really close attention to what you're doing. I'm helping you brainstorm. We're like wireframing whole content plans. We're creating funnels. I am invested. I am invested in your success. I can come up with content funnels and marketing plans all day long. I have built several successful businesses. I have seen clients kick ass with my advice. So when someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I need your help, and I give them, and I take a look at their business and I go, okay, here's the deal. Here's what you do. Implement these things and you're going to have success. I get excited. I get invested. I'm like, cool, let's go. I can't wait. Let's see how it goes. But then you come back 2 weeks later and I'm like, well, what have you done? Well, this came up and that came up and I started to do that, but I got stuck on this. And well, long story short, ain't done shit.
Sounds like my children when I
And
ask them to clean their rooms.
yeah, ain't none shit. And so like, and this is now I started my initial podcast was started in 2003. 2003 was the internet radio show. 2004 was when podcasting came out. I'm like, okay, you're stuck on technology, so I need to make sure you understand the technology. So I start to offer training on here's how you do this and here's how you do that. And then, Tisha enters into the equation around 2006 is when I hired her to be my VA. And I start recommending her to others because the things that they're getting stuck on, she knows how to do. So now they're paying me to coach, they're buying my products, they're paying her a retainer to implement things. So at that point, more people are becoming successful because some people are just not techy and they need someone else to do it for them, and that's, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got people that even when you do everything for them, they still stumble and drop the ball. Some people are this is where we start getting into mindset issues. People, everything is done, everything is built, it's ready to go. All it needs is for you to send the email.
Hit
Publish the
send.
thing. Publish the button. Publish the buy button, my friend. Do the thing. And that's, they're paying me, they're buying the stuff, they're paying Tisha. It's beautiful, it's implemented, it's ready to go. But they're still stopped. They're still stuck. And that tilted me because when I started my business, Pixie, I was a broke ass single mom with a child to feed. The concept of having spent time and money on something and not then pushing it so that I could make some money back. I had a shit mindset. I had a poverty mindset. I had all kinds of fucked up self-value, issues. But I had a hungry kid.
Right, yeah.
So you get over your
you do
shit.
the things you need to do in order to feed your kids because they can't feed themselves. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's so much of the initial mindset stuff that I just thought, what the fuck? But then, you realize judging people doesn't help anybody. But long story short, it's not a long story short, it's a long story, a slightly shorter story. There are some people that are just devoted to their internal dialogue that they can't do it. They can't do it. They're not worthy. But get away from base. You are away from base. Run away from base. Ant Lion is angry.
Oh no.
You're familiar with this, right?
Not really.
Did you not get it? Did it not come to you? It might have only been on me. She shakes the world and there's cave-ins and it breaks everything under the cave-in, so you just have to get away from base when it's happening.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, she didn't shake my world up. Starting around 2012,
Well, before I started to really work on mindset back in 2013, 2014. And I used to refer people to the people that I was coaching with
Mm-hmm.
for mindset support. But then over time, as I was learning and growing and implementing, I just reached a point where I started to cover mindset with my clients. And and that's why my most recent change, has been that I don't do business coaching anymore. I only do mindset coaching. And I love it, but there are people, like, just no matter what, people,
Right, they're going to invest their money and listen to people talk and not implement things and continue to enlist their money places and just spin their wheels. And there's
yeah,
almost nothing you can really do about it but watch them inevitably
yeah,
fail because they won't take the initiative to get off their butt to actually do what they need to do to be successful. Like, it's like that whole,
well,
lead the horse to water, but you can't shove its head
yeah,
in to make it drink. It's that
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
When we were creating the PLR content, when we were personally writing, or I was, mentoring a writer myself, and ensuring that it was quality content, good graphics, researched keywords. I could make money with that content if I wanted to. That's how I would always, end up feeling good about what we were selling, was that I knew it was quality content. When AI started to develop, people started to use AI to develop PLR content. And girl, that gacks me. That, like,
Well, it's
there's
so unpolished
so
and
much
unfinished,
wrong.
right? Like, AI stuff is
Yeah,
so rough. But also,
it
it's
is.
it's just a total steal from anyone who has a living, beating heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, um, the first time that I used ChatGPT, I said, "Hey, tell me about Kelly McCausey." And at first I was like, wow, look at that. Like, it did a pretty good job of describing me. It did a pretty good job of like highlighting things I've done, and I was like, this is pretty cool. But then I noticed one of the things that it said, and I recognized it from a blog post article that somebody had written about me after they attended one of my events.
yep.
And I'm like, ooh, that kind of sucks. Like, they straight up took this person's experience and opinions and published it. And yeah, that was like, ew.
That's what it do. It scours the interwebs for any and everything that somebody's ever said about you. And it's
Yeah.
not
So,
cool because, you know, that's ripping off other people's intellectual property.
yes. And um if you I was just noticing over time, as